Tonight on Manizer, we have a very special feature. We have assembled a small panel for discussion of men experts. What we are going to do tonight is celebrate traits in men, both physical and non-physical, through a discussion with men experts. To my right, Laura Tennyson is here, and to my left, Gina Farago, both men experts that have chosen to join us. The beginning of the discussion, we will talk about the physical traits of a man, the attributes we see physically that we love about men. It's very obvious and very simple. I'm going to open tonight with Zoe. Zoe, what would you say is one of your most striking or your favorite physical attribute that you find in men?
You know, it's difficult. I've had the advantage for the last couple days of knowing exactly what these questions would be, and I'm still, as the dyed-in-the-wool manizer that I am, very torn about my features and what I really like about men. I like hands. I like delicate, artful, graceful hands. But when it really comes right down to it, I think my favorite physical attribute of a man is his chest. I really like chests. They don't have to be big, they don't have to be particularly muscly, but they have to look comfortable. I think that's the big thing for me. This spot right here is about the most marvelous place on a man, I think. And I like to rest my head there. I like to sit on the couch or in the car and put my head right there. It makes me feel very, very comforted and safe. I really
Men
enjoy
are
it.
very fond of women's chests, but one advantage as women we have, men have very diverse chests. The obvious hairy or not hairy. What would you say, Gina?
I like not hairy chests.
Not hairy?
Not completely plain and shaved and
Right.
waxed and all of that.
No.
But if it's a choice between hairy and not hairy, I would take the not hairy.
Right. Maybe a little bit of hair.
A little bit of hair is
around the
great.
nipple.
Yeah.
The,
I love it.
right
I love
in the
it.
middle.
Yeah.
And then like with
Yeah.
the navel, that little, what do you call it?
We used to call it Main Street in high
Main
school.
Street. Main Street,
USA,
So
baby.
it led right where you wanted to be.
Yeah, that's a good place.
What about you, Laura? A man's chest.
I love men's chest. I don't care about hair or not hair. I think I just like Zoe said, there's a comfort in a man's chest, a sense of safety when you're hugging or when you're relaxing. If you can lean into a man's chest and he feels very okay with it, then it's a good place to be.
I would agree.
It's a good thing.
It's a
it
good
is
As our
thing.
good friend Martha Stewart says, it's a good thing.
Martha
Yeah,
Stewart would probably go for
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Men's chest.
I bet
It's a
Martha
good
likes
place to
chest.
rest. That's
Right. So a hairy chest is good. A not so hairy chest is good. Nipples are nice.
Nipples are nice.
Yeah.
Muscles are well defined.
They're like tuning knobs, almost.
And you know they do have a purpose on men. Of course, it's not as quite biologically imperative as on a woman, but
But they're
definitely
sensitive for
they're
men.
sensitive, and sensitivity,
'em.
physical or non-physical, is good in a man. Chests,
Says a lot about a man, his chest.
His chest.
his chest, and you know the proud. I'm a man.
That's right.
You know, that's the first thing they do when they're being all man. We had a man on an interview, and you know, when he wanted to put on his big man thing, you know, he'd immediately, you know, pump up
Yeah.
his chest.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm a man.
I'm a
It's sort of
man.
indicative. I'm a man, and of course, anything indicative of man, that we like that trait.
We like that.
Because we're manizers.
And men experts obviously first to point it out.
I'm Dan Aykroyd here at the House of Blues with Jill Blues, and you are watching Manizer.
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 Oh, Manizer. Oh, Manizer. I'll do it again.
Oh, Manizer.
I put an H in there. All right. I'm saying Manheiser like me.
Blues.
Wait.
We're at the.
All right.
Hi, I'm Jill Blues. We're at the Blue Plate Mayonnaise, and you're watching Manizer.
All right.
Hi, I'm Jill Blues at the Blue Plate Fine Foods, and you're watching Manizer.
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 Manizer. Oh, I'm saying Manizer. I'm putting a Y in it. Oh, I'll do it again. So Gina, what would you say is maybe your favorite or one of the most striking features physically of a man?
The most striking feature, the first thing I look for is a man's butt.
The butt.
Always, always, always. And
First thing.
Yeah. And I hate
Turn around, sir.
baggy pants. I hate baggy pants for that reason. Those low-slung,
Yeah.
nasty baggy pants. I hate them because I can't see their ass.
Well, what if they're slung low
If they're
enough?
slung low enough, then
Right.
they're good.
Then they
I
have
mean,
the,
they
Because
have
then you
to
get a
be-
good
yeah.
view.
Calvin Klein
Yeah.
underpants or
Yeah,
something.
but
Yeah.
otherwise, I want to be able to see your ass. You know, don't deny me that.
Butt in motion, or just
Yeah.
the butt size, or the butt?
All of it. All of it.
Size for me matters.
Yeah.
The bigger, the better. Sir Mix-a-Lot and me, we're on the same page. Red beans and rice didn't miss, sir. I like big butts. That's, yeah, bigger. If you can rest my arm, I'll put my arm around a man and, like, you know, his big back, and it'll slide down, and it's like, wow.
There's a butt you can
That
write
works.
home about.
A butt you can rest your arm home about. Right, I like that big. What about you, Laura? Does size matter with a butt?
I don't think size matters, but I like the fact that the butt is like a muscle on a man, and so seeing a butt naked is really interesting, and it's sexy, but it's also physique, kind of. It's something to admire in a man. When he walks across the room and you see his butt kind of moving. It's not like a woman's butt, you know, where it's like fleshy and
Sort of, yeah, soft
and fat and whatever, or whatever, you know.
Well, butts are fat and fleshy.
But men's butts are more muscular, I think. You know, they're that glute thing going on.
Glutamus maximus.
Yeah,
Right.
Uh-huh.
I like that.
What about
Maximize
Zoe?
the maximus.
Yeah.
You like back?
I like back. I prefer the rounded butt to the straight up and down butt. I like the round
Yeah.
action. The musculature and the definition, I think, is fabulous. I just,
And you
I
know,
don't think it looks
this
as
isn't
inviting
only just
to me.
men that are muscle men or like
No,
that
no,
are
like,
in the
you don't
gym
have-
every day.
Right.
I mean, a man that any man you see, of course, have their arms are just shaped in a way
Right.
that is distinctive of the musculature, not just the men
Right,
who work
and when
out.
you see them walk and they're moving their arms and their whole body, it's like almost seeing a not a primitive person, but like it's so natural. It
like an archetype,
yeah.
almost.
Yeah, like just a model of a man when you see how his arms move and his body moves
Chest.
and
Yeah.
chest.
A certain animal grace almost.
Yeah.
Well,
Archetypal. I think those kinds of things really do speak to those hidden parts of us that we don't pay too much
Yeah, and
attention
I think
to.
a lot of
in
genetic
men
makeup.
don't pay attention. You know, men who are not like pumping iron every day, just your average Joe guy, he may not think that those are the sexy things that women see. You
But it
know,
is.
yeah,
It
when he
is,
walks
yeah.
into a room, how he moves his arms and his chest and his body and his legs, and how he glides into a room is just as powerful as the type of muscles that he has. You
right,
know?
someone who's completely focused on his physique.
Right.
Right.
You know, that
Right.
that is, of course, you're going to notice that they've worked on it. But just every man basically has the physique, just
Right.
because he's male.
He's male, exactly.
Right.
He's born with it.
He was born man.
Make the best of what you got to work
If
with.
you're a man, you've got it.
You've got it.
You've got man arms. You've got a man back. You've got a man chest.
Yes.
Excuse me. I would have to say one of the most striking things for me about a man, I really like lips. I like the mouth, the softness. I sort of like when they have a little scruffiness. But my favorite thing is height. A tall man. There's something about it. Probably again the archetype. They're so tall. Anyone notices a great big tall 6'7" man comes in the room. You know, everyone. Wow, look at that guy's tall. But when you're dancing cheek to cheek and you have to sort of really stretch up there just to give him a kiss and you're like on your tiptoes. I guess I'm a romantic, but the tall, tall, dark, and handsome, of course. But I'm very short, so almost any man is taller than me. So I've got it made. They're all tall. Oh, Pierre, I'm so glad we're here together tonight. Valentine's Day, the two of us. I've missed you so much these last few months while you were in France.
Me too, actually. I was thinking a lot about you. I couldn't wait to arrive, right, home and be here around these four walls. That we
Valentine's
have
Day.
today. Yeah, definitely. But I have something that's been bothering me. I haven't told you, but I took the liberty of sort of inviting my brother to come here to spend Valentine's Day with us because he's alone, you know. He's just moved here. He's pretty sad and lonely, you know, and I just didn't want him to spend the entire day alone. So I mean, what do you say? Can I read?
I don't know what to say.
Say yes.
Yes.
I brought some cheese.
Oh, look. Brie, cheddar, and chèvre. Fromage à toi. It's just in this small segment here of experts. You can see that it's so varied. The answers, what the focus is, it's universal. Everyone agrees about all these attributes to some extent, that they notice them. Whether that be the tall or the short, you notice a man. Whether it be that his arms are muscular and defined, or the way he holds his arms, the way he puts them around you. That's the thing. They can be muscly, they can be, smaller, they can be big, husky arms.
I think what we're getting
A
at
chest.
here is we're manizers.
Men.
So
All
there's
of it's
something to
good.
love about each
There's
and every one
usually
of
a
us.
physical attribute. So I would have to say most men, you've got it covered. Just again, by virtue of being a man, there's something manizerable on you.
Right.
It's
right.
The answer's in the
I think
name.
it's getting to know what that is about you, for men, anyhow, because most women, as a woman, as a man expert, I'm observing all kinds of things that are going on with the man,
Exactly.
physical and non-physical, so.
Nothing escapes the
Right.
the microscopic view of a
man
manizer.
The attention to
As a man
detail.
expert, we can turn our discussion now to the more ethereal, the intangible characteristics of a man that we find attractive. Not their butt, not their muscle arm, their big hairy chest. What about a man, his moves, his mystique, his characteristics, what is it that's non-physical, Laura, that you would say you find striking in a man, or one of the most valid or attractive things in a man as an expert?
There's so many. I would start probably with intellect a little bit. Not, that he has to be a mad scientist or something like that,
Right.
but just that he's bright and a little bit in tune with what's going on, and shares it. And has a reason for being, kind of, and that's what I associate with intellect, versus like trying to be an expert in one thing or the other, but just being in tune with who he is and what's going on right now, and being interested and being aware and
Awareness.
Yeah, awareness in that sense. That's like, to me, intellectual. That gets me excited.
Maybe being pensive.
Pensive is also a really incredible attribute in man. Someone who thinks, who's thought-provoking, says thought-provoking things, or just thinks about his life and his place in the sun, in a sense,
Even if it's masked through, men will often show their intellect in the strangest of ways. Sports are one of the most common ways men communicate. And it's amazing. They know every RBI, they know all the statistics, they remember what championship, who ran where. I mean, attention to these details. And of course, it's their interest, so it's easily expressed. You often hear, that men don't think things through, or that they're not pensive, or and often they'll cut themselves short and say that immediately. Not even just as from a woman's point of view, but or a man expert. Men will often think that, but it's not true.
Right. It isn't. They have so much capacity. And I think the more...
It's expressed differently.
Right.
Almost.
And the more you express that, to me, is very sexy.
I think men are trained sometimes not to express that. Like,
Right.
There's all kinds of things that, society just sort of says, oh, well, that's a man, that's just a man's way, and they do that. But I think that it shortchanges men, because if they weren't, if people didn't have low expectations of what they're capable of, then they would, I think, let that side show more. You know, it's so much easier if somebody already thinks that you're not paying attention or that you're not thinking about those kinds of
Right.
things. It's so much easier in a way to go along with it than to really exert yourself and show that it's not true.
Right. But I think on a one-on-one with a woman, that's where it's at. That's where the magic happens in terms of your relationship and your experience with someone. You know, sharing that a little bit. I think a lot of men don't realize that, and they have it within them.
Oh, of course.
You know, it's
Absolutely.
there. It's there. So I would say intellect.
Intellect. Do you like intelligent men?
I would definitely agree, because the fact of the matter is no matter how good his butt is, it's eventually going to fall, and so's mine. And you've got to be able to talk to this guy. You've got to be able to spend time and have common interests and something else. So yeah, I definitely
Well, and even
100%
if his interests
agree.
aren't necessarily yours, you can see it. Again, the sports is the most easy way.
Yeah.
I see it daily. I'm impressed the way they rattle off these things. That who would know?
Right.
I don't remember everything that Martha Stewart ever said.
Never.
And we all watch Martha Stewart, right? All the women.
Or Oprah.
Or Oprah.
We don't know it.
Oh, am I glad to be home? What a day I've had.
And what an evening you will have too. Happy Valentine's Day.
Gina, what would you say is one of your favorite non-physical attributes of a man?
I would have to say a sense of humor. He needs to be
That's
able
good.
to, that will carry you through so much hell if you have a good sense of humor. It allows you to connect in different ways. It's just really, I think, something necessary that you need to have to deal with life as whatever it throws at you.
Definitely makes the tougher times easier if you
Yeah.
can have
Yeah.
a little bit of joyfulness about it.
I've always been attracted to funny men.
Like, what kind of funny?
I like eccentric funny, like odd funny. Like, where is that coming from? That is really strange. I kind of like that, and physical funny, because it almost gives that sensitivity. They're vulnerable. I like Jackie Gleason. I mean,
I do too.
Yeah.
Willing to put it on out there.
Yeah.
he puts it out there, and it's funny. Do you like funny men, Zoe?
I like funny men. I like men who know when to turn off their sense of humor. It's not all funny, but
Right.
I don't want a man who's laughing right after I've fallen on my butt, making a joke about it. But yeah, I like funny.
Well,
But I
right.
think that the thing for me personally is presence. I really appreciate, and not presence of they walk in a room and the whole room turns to look at them. That's marvelous too. But I really like men who are mindful, who look at you while they're talking to you and are clearly paying attention to what's going on around them. Not just an interaction with me, although that's my favorite way for them to be mindful, but what goes on in the world around them too, to be aware of things that are going on, but just to have that presence in terms of being in the here and now, being in the moment with me or without, however that works out, but being in the moment.
Sort of a Buddhist type almost.
Yeah.
I like the Buddhist
I mean,
types.
you would say if you were going to bring it to that.
Mindfulness, right?
Or
Mindful.
not escapist types. There are some men who are escapism.
Right.
Yeah.
Just not there.
Just not wanting to be with what's going on right now, whether it's football or whether it's you're having coffee and talking.
right.
They're kind of running away from that experience, that time to experience.
Always somewhere else. Or
Right.
Something.
Yeah.
Not just busybody on the phone and stuff. Just not.
Yeah.
Not really
Not
there.
connecting.
Well, the
Right,
joy in life is really in the moment, and people that can really
Men or
focus
women.
on that
Right.
and
And if
be
a
okay
man
with
has that skill or that ability, it just makes them so incredible. That you gravitate towards them.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I like non-physically. I like like the macho, sort of, not bossy. I'm, you know, a headstrong woman. I have control, but I do like when a man is in control, when he's in charge, when he's like, okay, let's go,
Right.
you know, and he sort of leads you, or
Masterful.
he's sort of
Yeah.
masterful. But in the same way, he's not afraid to be compassionate. Don't mistake kindness for weakness. To be kind, or to, especially when he's interacting with his other men friends. You know, a man that's going to be all gushy and to you is one thing. That's nice, of course. You know, I don't like overly sensitive. Then it's just, what in the world? I want you macho. But if you watch a man interacting with his other male friends, and you see some of that compassion, or you see some of that just kindness or thoughtfulness that he'll express with them, because they're often so superficial and blah, blah, blah. But I think that that's one of the most common ways you can see it, and I just think it's beautiful. I like the macho combined with compassionate. It sounds like an ideal, but I think every man has it. It's
I do too.
it's evident in all men. They have different levels of each, and I don't care which level is which. I like them both.
It's that balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like a little aggressiveness in men as well.
Yeah,
Someone who's
Just purpose.
a purpose.
Yeah.
purposeful.
Somebody who knows what he wants, you know, and not, I think a lot of that goes to self-confidence too, and knowing who you are, that you know what you want, you know, and this is how you're going to get it. This is how you're going to take control of the situation and deal with it.
Right. But you
Make
know
it
what's,
happen.
women in particular get a little nervous about when you say you like macho men.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's not supposed to be cool or whatever, but
It's not PC. We're
It's
all
not,
supposed to
no.
be raging feminists who don't
right.
will like.
No.
But the thing
Well,
is,
like
though,
my
is
man
that
opens
I
the
don't
door for
want
us.
that, though. I don't want that stereotypical macho dragging you
Right.
out of the trailer by your hair
Right,
guy
not
either,
that
No
you
one
know.
does.
guy.
But that's
no.
what everybody thinks of when you say macho.
Right.
They think
Right.
of some wife beater.
Right.
And, you know, not many of us want that.
I don't think
No.
anyone
I don't
likes
want a
that.
wife beater.
No, but I think
Maybe
there's
the wife beater T-shirt. But that's it.
right.
Right.
That's cute.
Kid Rock
Well,
and the
Kid
White
Rock
Rock.
and the
Yeah,
wife
and the
beater,
white-
that's a
you
whole
see-
other thing.
You have very thought-provoking and deep answers here when you have expert panel. But I know that our viewers watching Manizer have their own opinions. We are interested in knowing what are your favorite physical traits in a man. Men, what do you feel confident in expressing physically? What do you feel about this whole compassion macho? Is it confusing? You know, do you feel confident? Do you have any saying at all, or do you just want to call us and tell us about some sports figures? And we'll know you're smart, and we'll know you're funny, and we'll probably check you out a little. But,
We're like that.
we
We're
at
manizers.
Manizer, we you know, we'll
Wear tight
remind you
pants.
once again of our Manizer email, manizer@hotmail.com. Please email us, because we want some more input. We have experts here, but we want to know what our viewers, what everyday people also think about the physical form, the non-physical form. Men, what do you think about all of this? You know? Do you feel objectified, or are you glad that finally people on Manizer or etc. are willing to come out here on a limb and say, we love you men. We love the way you look. We love the way you act. We love it. We want it. We want to hear some input. Not just the experts. But I would like to thank, of course, Gina Farago
You're welcome.
and Laura Tennyson for joining us here on Manizer. Zoe and I will be back later in the show with some examples, physical and non-physical, of the ensued discussion. And we look forward to your emails and all of your input out there. So thank you, Manizers. Thank you, men, for making our discussions so easy.
The first thing you look for in a man, physical, non-physical, doesn't matter. Whatever your favorite thing is.
I would have to say physical.
What physical thing?
I'm really a teeth person, and I have to make sure that he has perfect teeth.
Nice smile.
Yes, beautiful white teeth. And then that way I don't know what our kids will look like if we ever have kids.
His teeth, his personality, his clothes, his background,
I'm nervous. And what else?
Is that all of it?
Yeah. And what else? Attitude. The attitude. What else? I don't know what else.
My favorite thing, physical, is a good, clean smile. My favorite thing, I guess you'd say, is non-physical but slightly physical because they look athletic, is a good athlete. Smile.
Any particular reason why?
Just brightens up their face usually, shows their personality.
The most important thing, I think, is a sense of humor. And physically, eyes, I guess, because that's really the first thing you see. I'd have to say that physically, I'm most attracted to the athletic type. And non-physical attribute would have to be sense of humor. They'd have to have a sense of humor like mine so they can laugh at my jokes.
Good afternoon, this is Tracy.
Hi, honey. Sorry to bother you at work.
Oh, hey, baby, I'm glad you called. It's always good to hear your voice. Just crazy today.
Making any more plans for Valentine's weekend?
No, I was hoping you could tell me. I'm just glad that I had the sense to arrange the time off so we could have a nice long weekend.
Well, our weekend's getting a little longer. We're going to need to take a couple of extra days so that we have time to make it to and from Paris this weekend.
Paris? You're kidding me!
Paris, France, ma'am, for Valentine's Day.
Oh, honey, you did that all by yourself without me
On
knowing?
myself.
Hey, do you think we'll have time to maybe make a trip to Amsterdam?
We'll absolutely stop in Amsterdam.
Well, that'll be the best Valentine's ever.
We can start it and end it in Amsterdam and just do Paris for a day.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. I love you.
Love you too.
Bye, dear.
Bye.
I'm going to Paris.